Welcome everyone to a video that took me over a year to make. Here are some of my favorite What If Star Wars videos, all in a span of 1 hour. I hope you all enjoy. Welcome back to the channel, everyone. We begin this story as Anakin Skywalker, Obi-Wan Kenobi, and Padme are on board a gunship as they see Count Dooku in the distance trying to escape. Obi-Wan knows that if they are able to capture Dooku, this could be the chance for them to deal a significant blow to the Separatist army. They are about to reach him until they notice that they are being followed by two Geonosian fighters, trying to shoot down the gunship. The clone pilot has to make an aggressive turn in order to dodge the bullets from behind. This causes Padme and a clone trooper to fall out of the gunship. Anakin orders the pilot to land the gunship to rescue Padme. However, Obi-Wan tells Anakin he can't take on Dooku alone. What would Padme do if she was in your position? Anakin knows that she would have continued the mission. This is where the what if story begins. And if you guys like this content, make sure to click that subscribe button to never miss a video. The clone trooper runs over to Padme asking her if she's alright. To that she replies, "Yes, what is your name, trooper?" The clone trooper tells her that I go by Rex. She tells Rex to find a gunship quickly as we need to get back to them. Rex contacts the control center, letting them know that they need a gunship and a squadron of clones at their position immediately. Rex gives them their coordinates as the control center tells him that a gunship is en route to their position. Padme tells Rex to look out as several Geonosians have flown over to them. They begin shooting at the two of them as Rex fires back, shooting each one out of the sky while still protecting the Queen. The gunship arrives at their location as Padme and Rex get inside. One of the medic clones asks if they need anything, to that they reply that they are both fine. The pilot asks if they are heading the same direction as Master Yoda. Padme replies yes, as she knows that would probably be where Anakin and Obi-Wan are. They arrive seeing Count Dooku's ship take off, and Padme runs inside to see Anakin able to get on his feet. However, his hand has been cut off. Anakin asks Padme how she got here, to that she replies a clone trooper took care of her and made sure we were able to get a ship as soon as possible to your location. Anakin asks Padme, where is this clone trooper at? I want to meet him and tell him thank you for making sure you were safe. Padme brings Rex over to Anakin as Anakin tells Rex that you saved one of the most important individuals in my life. I can never thank you so much for what you have done today. Rex tells Anakin that it was his mission to make sure that she was safe. Anakin tells Rex that he wants him to fight alongside him for the war to come. I will talk with Chancellor Palpatine for everything that you have done today, and you will receive the highest honor as a captain. Rex is stunned by this information and tells Anakin it would be an honor to fight beside him. Anakin tells Rex that for now on, you will be giving the orders instead of taking them. After Anakin receives medical attention, he heads back to Coruscant to speak with the Chancellor about what happened to Padme on Geonosis. He tells the Chancellor that Padme would probably be captured or killed by the Viceroy and the Separatist army if Clone Trooper CT-7567 or Rex did not save her on Geonosis. Palpatine tells Anakin that I am glad that you are able to complete your first assignment, as if it wasn't for you, Senator Amidala would probably not be alive today. Your training and patience is paying off. Soon I will see you becoming more powerful than any Jedi could possibly imagine. Anakin tells Palpatine, thank you, Your Excellence. Palpatine states that whatever you need, I can give you. Your request has been approved, and CT-7567 or Rex will be promoted to captain immediately. Anakin in the coming years would become a fantastic general on the battlefield. with his new battalion of clones called the 501st. Anakin would have Captain Rex by his side and would train the 501st for many different missions as almost like a special forces kind of team. A squadron of clones to be able to go into areas no squadron of clones would ever think about. This would lead them to become one of the most dangerous weapons in the Grand Army of the Republic. To be able to use different equipment like jetpacks, heavy infantry, and much more to sneak into enemy lines to catch the Separatists off guard. The Separatists would soon be aware of this special forces kind of battalion of clones, but no matter what they did to try to stop these clones, Anakin and Captain Rex would lead them to victory. We begin the story right after the events of the Battle of Naboo, with a young Anakin Skywalker after destroying the Trade Federation ship, saving the planet, and Queen Amidala from the invasion of the Trade Federation. Anakin returns to the hangar bay with R2 and the rest of the pilots that survived the battle. Being celebrated by his heroic efforts by the other pilots, Anakin, however, wanted to know where Qui-Gon and Obi-Wan were at. Until Anakin wonders where Obi-Wan is holding Qui-Gon in his arms. Anakin mourns the loss of someone who was like a father figure to him. After seeing this, Anakin lost all interest in becoming a Jedi, as the only reason he wanted to be a Jedi was to learn the Force from Qui-Gon. To travel the galaxy with him and go on many missions, Anakin decided to walk away from the Jedi Order and become a pilot. Anakin would later be enlisted to be in the Naboo piloting program. Not only would this allow him to fly wherever he wanted to go, but this would allow him to stay on Naboo, not too far away from Tatooine, if he ever wanted to go visit his mother. Anakin would use his skills in the Force to fly through the program, being one of the best pilots this program had ever seen. He even made his own modifications to his own starfighter to make it one of the fastest ships ever made. Just like when he was a kid making his modifications to his own pod racer right before his big race. A few years go by, and with many years of flying experience, Anakin would be promoted to oversee the entire piloting program. This allowed him to be able to teach others on how to become a great pilot. Though his methods of teaching would become challenging, as none of the students had the same abilities as he did. Anakin's abilities to have quick reaction skills and to be able to see things before they happen made him an excellent pilot. Many of the students, though, would get frustrated with him and his methods. However, if they wanted to survive, Anakin would need to be tough with them. Anakin saw firsthand how powerful the Trade Federation could be, and that they will not hesitate to kill any starfighter that tries to attack them. Soon, the pilots of his program would become one of the best fighter squadrons in the entire galaxy. However, Anakin always remembered his promise he made to his mother about coming back to Tatooine to free her from slavery. With this new promotion, he was able to get the chance to free his mother from slavery and take her back to Naboo to finally be free. This allowed him to see his mother all the time and not have to wonder if something bad would ever happen to her. With this promotion, Anakin was allowed to be one of the royal guardsmen for Queen Amidala, as he would escort her on various missions to make sure no harm would come of her. Queen Amidala was a target on many individuals from the Trade Federation after their failed invasion on the Battle of Naboo. Queen Amidala and Anakin's relationship would grow throughout this time. With how much time they were spending with each other going on various missions, she saw him as a powerful and strong leader, creating one of the best flight programs the galaxy has ever seen. They could be a normal couple and not have to keep their relationship a secret if Anakin decided to go down the path to be a Jedi. However, the war had begun, and Senator Amidala needed to stay on Coruscant to be with the other senators, as the Republic had just issued emergency powers to Chancellor Palpatine for the Republic to use a clone army against the Separatists. Anakin's piloting program became well known all over the galaxy as the Republic would make a treaty to use Naboo's pilots and starfighters against the Separatist forces. Anakin, with this promotion, would become one of the chief officers of the Republic. With the combination of the Naboo starfighters and the clone army of the Republic, they were nearly unstoppable, winning multiple space battles against the Separatist forces. So many battles lost, the Separatists decided to make a counterattack as too many star systems were joining the cause of the Republic. Count Dooku and the Trade Federation made a move to attack full force towards the planet of Naboo. This time they would not make the same mistake as before. Many Separatist ships jumped out of hyperspace guarding the command ship. The Republic hears about another invasion over the planet Naboo. As Anakin and his Naboo starfighters head to aid the planet from being invaded by the Separatists, the Republic gives Anakin hundreds of clones to aid in their efforts to keep the planet safe. As Anakin's forces jumped out of hyperspace, he knows that the Separatists won't make the same mistake as they did beforehand. They will have the command ship guarded so that no pilot could make it past their blockade. Captain Rex came up to Anakin saying that the transports are ready. Anakin replies, "Great job, Rex. My Naboo starfighters will help you and the boys make it safely down to the planet where you can protect the capital from the invasion. I have already contacted the Gungans to inform them about the Separatist forces as they will join in your efforts to defend the capital." As the three Republic cruisers jumped out of hyperspace, they see the Separatist ships guarding the command ship, just as Anakin predicted. The transports and Naboo starfighters leave to head down to the planet as Vulture droids are headed their direction to make sure they do not make it. The Naboo pilots use their experience and training to avoid the incoming shots as they lead the Vulture droids away from the transports. The pilots use their small size and their quickness to their advantage to shoot down many of the Vulture droids. Captain Rex and the clones make it down to the planet with minimum casualties. They see on the outskirts of the city many Separatist transports have already landed, deploying droids. The clones land inside the capital to help defend the city. Once the starfighters have finished destroying the rest of the Vulture droids, they move back to the cruisers to launch a full assault against the command ship. Anakin tells his officers to turn the cruiser's belly to face the Separatist ships and activate the shields. This will allow them the protection they need to give the pilots enough time to make a surprise attack that they won't see coming. As the cruisers take shot after shot, their shields get weaker and weaker. One of the cruiser's shields break as the cruiser gets destroyed, leaving only two left. The cruisers get closer and closer as the Naboo starfighters make a surprise attack that the Separatists did not see coming. Their quickness and size make it nearly impossible to shoot down. Anakin jumps into his starfighter and tells the clone pilots to open the hangar bay to deploy their ships for a full assault. One by one, the Naboo starfighters destroy each Separatist ship. With the combination of the Republic ships, it makes it impossible to defend that many aircraft at once. The clones and Naboo guards are holding their ground against the droid army attacking from all sides to try to take over the city. They want to get the droids to get as close as they can to the city to make sure none can retreat. As the Gungans come out of the forest, now make the droid army trapped between the Gungans and the clone army guarding the city. The droids do not know what to do as their forces are being targeted from both sides. The droid army gets destroyed by the combined forces of the clones and the Gungans. It is not too much later where the command ship is completely destroyed by the immense amount of firepower from the Republic forces. This battle becomes a clear victory for the Republic and a turning point in the war, as the Separatists losing multiple of their ships to try to take over the planet once again. For this what-if scenario, after seeing the death of Qui-Gon, the father figure Anakin needed on his path to be a Jedi, he decided to step away from this path and apply for the Naboo piloting program. Using his abilities in the Force, he was able to become one of the best pilots in the program. This allowed him to be able to teach other pilots to survive the battlefield and become a royal guard for Queen Amidala. Hello and happy Star Wars Day to all you fans out there. In today's video, I want to do something special with this being the final season of Bad Batch and really the last major project from George Lucas. If you didn't know, before Disney bought out the rights to Lucasfilm, George was already thinking about making the Bad Batch animated series. I really have enjoyed this show overall, and I think Dave Filoni did a phenomenal job making the series just as George would have probably imagined. With this, what if the Bad Batch found out about the inhibitor chips and what was their purpose? This would have revealed Darth Sidious's big plan to turn the army of the Republic against the Jedi. As always, make sure to click that like button to let me know you guys enjoyed this content, and make sure you click that subscribe button to never miss a video. Now, let's get started. During the battle of a separatist space station, the clone trooper CT-5385 or TUB inhibitor chip activated early, causing the clone trooper to assassinate the Jedi Tiplar. Due to this, the Republic had to retreat from the battle as they were stunned by what transpired. Clone Trooper CT-5385 was under arrest after killing Tiplar and not realizing what he had just done. This news would soon make its way to the Jedi Council, as they are now investigating what caused the clone trooper to disobey orders and kill a Jedi. The Jedi Council has decided that Clone Force 99 would be the best team to investigate what happened to cause this clone to kill a Jedi. As the Bad Batch runs some tests on the clone trooper, Tech scans the brain area to see if he could find something near the clone trooper's head that could possibly cause this trooper to disobey orders. He finds something, and it appears to be some sort of inhibitor chip that once activated, the clone trooper can't resist the orders. Tech does some more testing on the other members of the Bad Batch to see if they as well have the same inhibitor chip. His test reveals that they as well have the same inhibitor chip, and soon realize that every clone trooper in the Galactic Army must have it. The Bad Batch make it their mission to go to Kamino and showcase their evidence to Nala Se. After revealing the evidence to her that this clone trooper was programmed to do this, she advises the clones to report this information back to the Jedi Council as they need to know. The Bad Batch contacts the Jedi Council saying that they have found evidence of why CT-5385 killed Tiplar. They continue with that every clone in the Galactic Army has an inhibitor chip planted inside their head that, once activated, causes the clone to execute the orders without question. CT-5385 must have activated this chip early in the battle and caused the clone trooper to kill Tiplar. The Jedi Council, disturbed by this matter, as why would someone want the clones to turn on the Jedi Council tells the Bad Batch to take these matters to the Senate, as they must know this evidence as well to make sure more systems are not falling under Separatist control. Palpatine has a session of Congress as news has spread about the clone trooper killing a Jedi in the middle of a battle. Palpatine tries to tell the politicians that this clone acted alone in this murder and will receive punishment for his crimes against the Republic. As the session is about to end, the Bad Batch arrives to reveal the evidence gathered that shows that every clone in the Grand Army of the Republic have a inhibitor chip inside their head that once activated, the clone troopers have been programmed to kill the Jedi. Whoever has planted these inhibitor chips inside the clone troopers' heads want the Jedi to be extinct. Palpatine knows that his plans to turn the Grand Army of the Republic against the Jedi will not happen if the Bad Batch finds the identity of who programmed these inhibitor chips to every clone. He devises a plan to make sure that the Bad Batch does not discover who is truly behind this plan. Darth Sidious then hires Cad Bane to exterminate the Bad Batch before more information gets released. As the Bad Batch is on their way to do more experiments on Kamino, Cad Bane arrives in front of their ship and begins shooting at the Bad Batch. They soon realize that whoever hired Cad Bane to kill them is the mastermind behind this whole thing. They devise a plan to be able to truly discover who wants them and the Jedi to be dead. Crosshair, using his sniper abilities, keeps Cad Bane at a far distance while Hunter and Wrecker try to flank both of his sides. Tech tries to hack into the ship to make sure he cannot escape. Cad Bane sees Hunter trying to flank him and shoots at him, and is able to shoot him right in the shoulder. Wrecker then throws a container towards Cad Bane with such force that it knocks him to the ground, and Crosshair sees the opportunity and stuns him, knocking him unconscious. So we took this fan fiction scenario a little differently. I think that if the Bad Batch was assigned to this task by the Jedi Council on why CT-5385 killed Tiplar, as they would have discovered the inhibitor chip planted inside every clone trooper's head. The Republic would then have all the clones go back to Kamino to remove this inhibitor chip to make sure Order 66 never could happen. Cad Bane would then be interrogated but would never reveal to the Jedi who hired him to kill the Bad Batch and make sure that their information never got released. It would be interesting to figure out how Palpatine would have countered this, as it always seemed to be that he was 2 steps ahead of the Jedi Council. We begin the story right after Obi-Wan has defeated Anakin on Mustafar and is on his way to Polis Massa in order for Padme to seek medical attention where the Empire would not sense their presence. Padme is resting on the table as the medical droids are analyzing her body to make sure her and the babies are safe. The droid tells Obi-Wan that with their advance in technology that Padme and the babies' vitals are stable. Obi-Wan says, "Babies?" The droid tells Obi-Wan that she is having twins. "Do not worry, our technology is one of the best in the galaxy. We will know if anything happens to her babies." Hours go by, with Padme still resting and being monitored by the droids. Obi-Wan, Yoda, and Bail Organa speak about what they should do if indeed Padme survives childbirth. All 3 of them know that if the Empire ever finds out about the offspring of Anakin Skywalker and his wife survived the war, the Empire would do whatever it takes to find those kids. Bail Organa states that we should have a fake funeral service for Padme. Having her in a closed casket would mean that no one could see her. Once the Empire finds out about her funeral, they would conclude that Padme and Anakin's offspring did not survive. Obi-Wan says that Padme should be with her family on Naboo, as she will need comfort to be able to get through all this. Obi-Wan continues with his permission from Master Yoda to watch over the children to make sure nothing happens to them. Master Yoda grants this request as during his isolation, Master Yoda has training for Obi-Wan to complete. The medical droids enter the room, letting them know that Padme has awakened. Obi-Wan walks into the room as he sees the monitors and droids all around him. monitoring Padme's vitals and her children. Luke and Leia come out in perfect condition, however, Padme becomes exhausted and goes back to rest. The droids say her vitals are good and we will monitor her recovery process throughout the next couple of hours. Padme wakes up with her children lying on each side of her, resting. As Obi-Wan walks in the room, telling Padme that the babies are in good health. We are planning on moving you back home to your parents to help you take care of the children. Bail Organa has just left to organize a funeral service for you. Funeral? Padme says. Obi-Wan says that it is the only way for the Empire to not come looking for you if they think that you're already dead. I will stay close by on Naboo to watch over the children to make sure they are kept safe. We must keep your identity a secret from the Empire, as if they find out that the offspring of Anakin Skywalker survived, they will come looking for you. Padme asks Obi-Wan, "What happened to Anakin?" Obi-Wan tells her that he was unable to bring Anakin back to the light, that he had fallen too far to the dark side of the Force. The funeral progresses as a closed casket hiding the fact that Padme is not dead is carried throughout the streets of Naboo. Many members of Congress and old friends of Padme's come to pay their respect. However, someone from the gathering could sense something was off. Ahsoka Tano was one of Padme's closest friends during the Clone Wars. Being Anakin's Padawan, they assisted the Senator in many missions against the Separatist cause. Ahsoka and Padme grew a strong bond together. Ahsoka could sense during the funeral that she was not in the casket and that this must mean she is still alive. After Order 66, the Jedi had to be careful with their surroundings. Ahsoka goes away from the funeral and sees a familiar face. Senator Bail Organa asks Ahsoka what is she doing here, as her life was at risk. Ahsoka tells Bail Organa she had to go to the funeral to pay her respect to one of her most dear friends. However, this wasn't her true funeral, Bail. Bail asks her, "What do you mean?" Ahsoka tells Bail that she could sense in the Force that her good friend was not in that casket. To that she must be still alive, isn't she? Bail promised Obi-Wan and Yoda that he would not reveal to anyone their secret. However, Ahsoka could sense that Bail was hiding something and decided to use the Force to read his mind. Ahsoka now knows the secret that Padme is still alive and that she was pregnant with twins. Ahsoka asked Bail, "Where is Padme?" To that he replied that he actually did not know. Obi-Wan and Master Yoda never told him where Padme's parents lived. Ahsoka knows that if she finds Padme, that she could lead her to find Obi-Wan. As Ahsoka travels towards the outskirts of the city to hopefully find Padme and Obi-Wan, she uses the Force to help guide her throughout this mission. She stumbles upon an old lake house where her connection in the Force grew stronger, as there had to be another Force user close by to cause this disturbance. Obi-Wan could sense this tremor in the Force as well. To Obi-Wan's surprise, though, he sees Ahsoka for the first time since him and Ahsoka spoke on Mandalore talking about the Council's plans for Anakin and how Ahsoka told the Council that Anakin was a part of Darth Sidious's plan as his new apprentice. Obi-Wan tells Ahsoka that it is good to see her, as he does not know how many have been killed. Ahsoka tells Obi-Wan that she knows what happened to the clones and why they turned on the Jedi. They were programmed to do this, she said, as they were implanted by an inhibitor chip that once activated, the clones had a hard time resisting the order. Obi-Wan asks, "How did you survive?" Ahsoka tells him that that story can be told another time. "I would like to see my old friend now." Obi-Wan for a second thought she was meaning Anakin. However, he could not bear to tell Anakin's former Padawan all the things that had happened to him. As they both head towards the lake house, Padme is watching over Luke and Leia. Padme was super excited to see her good old friend Ahsoka once again. She really did not know how many of her friends survived this attack. Ahsoka asked Padme if it would be alright for her to stay a little longer, at least until she hears back from Rex. Padme, with no hesitation whatsoever, tells Ahsoka she is welcome to stay for as long as she needs. Later on that night, Obi-Wan tells Ahsoka how important it is to keep this secret. If anyone would know that these children, being Force sensitive, were still alive, the Empire would hunt them down. Ahsoka understands and asks the question, what happened to Anakin? Obi-Wan knew at that moment it would be difficult for Ahsoka to hear this, but he decided to tell her nonetheless. Obi-Wan says that Anakin was seduced by the dark side of the Force. Palpatine was behind all this, including the war. When Anakin killed Count Dooku, Palpatine needed a new apprentice. Anakin would then go to Mustafar to deal with the Separatist leaders as Darth Sidious's new apprentice. I knew with Padme's love for Anakin that she would lead me to him. However, it was too late. Once I got to Mustafar, he was already gone. There was no way of bringing him back to the light. Ahsoka was saddened to hear this news of her former master, but the Jedi were blinded by the fact that a Sith Lord was in front of them this entire time, and not once could you all sense his presence. On Mandalore, Ahsoka told Obi-Wan that Darth Maul said that Anakin was in danger, become his former master's new apprentice. But the council did not listen. Instead, you kept having him spy on the Chancellor to learn more about his intentions after the war. Obi-Wan states that he wished he could go back and change the past. However, now we must survive. Those children must be kept safe. Obi-Wan states that these children are the future and that they must be kept safe. Obi-Wan asks Ahsoka if she would like to watch over Luke and Leia, as he had much to learn from his former master about the living Force. Ahsoka accepts the offer as Obi-Wan tells her, "May the Force be with you." Hello and welcome back to another fanfiction video as we go over another what if scenario, as what if Anakin decided to spare Count Dooku's life and take him back to the Jedi Council to arrest him for his crimes. We begin this story right when Anakin has just defeated Count Dooku and has both lightsabers around his neck. Anakin takes a look over towards Palpatine, congratulating him over his duel, and tells him to
do it.
Count Dooku in shock now, knowing that he was just a pawn in his master's plan. Everything that he has done for his master was only to have Anakin defeat him and be able to see Anakin's true potential. He looks up to Anakin as Anakin tells him he's an unarmed prisoner who must stand trial in front of the Jedi Council. Anakin frees Palpatine and Obi-Wan handcuffs Count Dooku as they all find the nearest escape pods to jettison off the ship. These escape pods head over to one of the Republic cruisers to send out a message to the rest of the army that the Chancellor has been saved by the Jedi. They land on Coruscant, where Anakin and Obi-Wan take Count Dooku in front of the Jedi Council to answer for all the wrongdoings. Count Dooku standing in the same room where he was once a powerful Jedi and now seeing his former master, Master Yoda. Dooku tells the council who his master is after being betrayed by him. The Jedi Council has a hard time believing Count Dooku that there is no way that Chancellor Palpatine is a Sith Lord. Dooku tells the council that you are all a pawn in his plan, just as I was. The Geonosians gave me the plans for a weapon beyond any imagination that once fully built could destroy a planet within seconds. I gave those plans to your Chancellor, and if he still has them, then this is your proof you need that he is indeed a Sith Lord. The Jedi Council is stunned at this information and has no choice but to continue the investigation to see if indeed Chancellor Palpatine is a Sith Lord. Before this session ends, the Jedi Council tells Anakin Skywalker of his next mission, to spy on the Chancellor and see if he can find these plans. Count Dooku is sent to the nearest prison awaiting his sentence. Anakin, at this moment, has not yet been having any dreams of Padme dying at childbirth, nor has he been denied the rank of Jedi Master by the Jedi Council. As Anakin heads over to the Chancellor's office, he walks in and sees the plans for the battle station. At this moment, he knew what Count Dooku was telling him was indeed the truth. Chancellor Palpatine is indeed the Sith Lord that they have been looking for. Anakin tells Palpatine that they are still looking for General Grievous in the Outer Rim. Once we find him, the war will be over. Anakin leaves the Chancellor's office to quickly find Obi-Wan before he leaves to go find Grievous. Anakin finds Obi-Wan and tells him, "I saw the plans Count Dooku was talking about in Chancellor Palpatine's office. He has the readings to the battle station Count Dooku was telling the Jedi Council. He must indeed be the Sith Lord we have been looking for." Obi-Wan knows at this moment that finding Grievous isn't his priority anymore. Obi-Wan contacts Master Yoda saying that we need to conduct an emergency session with the Jedi Council. Anakin tells the council exactly what he saw in Chancellor Palpatine's office, with him reading the plans to the massive space station that could end the Republic when fully built. Council, no longer worried about finding Grievous, devise a plan to arrest the Chancellor. Yoda knows if he is indeed a powerful Sith Lord, that he will need many skilled Jedi Masters to lead this mission. Yoda, accompanied by Mace Windu, Anakin Skywalker, Obi-Wan, Kit Fisto, Agen Kolar, Saesee Tiin, and Plo Koon all enter the Chancellor's office. Chancellor Palpatine, surprised to see all the Jedi, asks what this meeting is all about, as all the Jedi ignite their lightsabers towards Palpatine. Palpatine knows that he is completely unmatched for this many Jedi Masters. Palpatine uses a Sith move called Force Scream to cause the Jedi's reactions to be delayed, and then shoots out Sith lightning towards the Jedi. This gives Palpatine enough time to break the glass out of his office and jump down to a speeder down below. Palpatine knows that the Jedi will be coming after him, so he needs something to happen to distract the Jedi and give him enough time to escape. Palpatine executes Order 66 to have the Grand Army of the Republic turn against the Jedi. Master Yoda is the first Jedi to get back up after Darth Sidious's attack. Yoda puts his hand on his chest as he feels something wrong happening in the Force. Pain and death throughout the entire galaxy, as many Jedi have been killed. As the rest of the Jedi get up, a squadron of clones enter the Chancellor's office and begin shooting towards the Jedi. Agen Kolar and Saesee Tiin die during the gunfire. As the rest of the Jedi are able to defend off the attack, the rest of the Jedi go out to the broken window as they see the Jedi Temple burning. Yoda and Mace Windu make a plan to rescue the surviving Jedi and younglings at the Jedi Temple. Yoda tells Plo Koon to search the skies and shoot down any gunships heading towards the temple. Anakin, Obi-Wan, and Kit Fisto all start on the bottom level and rescue as many Jedi as possible. Yoda and Mace Windu would then search the landing platforms around the temple to help evacuate the surviving Jedi. As Anakin, Obi-Wan, and Kit Fisto walk into the temple, so many Jedi have already been killed, with most of the temple on fire. Mace Windu and Yoda find a landing platform with a gunship, dropping off more clone troopers. Mace Windu is able to defeat those clone troopers and take over their gunship. Yoda contacts Obi-Wan, telling them that they have secured a gunship ready to pick up survivors. Anakin walks into a Jedi chamber where a bunch of younglings are trying to hide from the clones. Anakin tells the younglings to follow him as they have a gunship outside. Anakin contacts Master Yoda, telling him he has survivors heading their way. As they all head towards the gunship, a shade of red comes across the room and stabs Kit Fisto in the chest. Anakin and Obi-Wan turn around to see a squad of clones with Darth Sidious. The clones fire towards the Jedi, causing Obi-Wan and the younglings to get separated with Anakin, leaving him all alone to face Darth Sidious. A bolt of lightning comes towards Anakin, and he is able to block the shot. Darth Sidious tells Anakin, "A mighty Sith you would have become. Your attachment to your friends and the Jedi Order have made you weak, and now you must die." As Sidious ignites both of his lightsabers, Anakin, full of rage and anger towards the Sith Lord for what he has done, Anakin hears Qui-Gon's voice reminding him, "Anakin, you are the chosen one, and you will bring balance to the Force." Anakin grabs another fallen Jedi's lightsaber to use lightsaber form Jar-Kai to match with Sidious. They both go on the offensive as each one strikes back at each other, each lightsaber strike trying to get the advantage over the other. Obi-Wan was able to defend off the clone troopers long enough to get the younglings to safety with Master Yoda and Mace Windu. Obi-Wan tells Yoda that Anakin is in grave danger and must go back. As the battle between Anakin and Sidious goes on, Sidious is able to break one of Anakin's lightsabers. Anakin, now at a disadvantage, looks for help until he sees Obi-Wan. Darth Sidious sees Obi-Wan and force pushes Anakin towards the wall, causing him to get stuck. Obi-Wan tells Darth Sidious to release Anakin. Sidious knows that if he could kill Obi-Wan, that perhaps Anakin could turn to the dark side. Obi-Wan, one of the best defensive duelists in the Jedi Order, is still no match for a powerful Sith Lord like Darth Sidious. As Darth Sidious shoots Force lightning and chokes Obi-Wan at the same time, it is only a matter of time before he is dead. Right before Sidious could kill Kenobi, a blue blade strikes right in the middle of Sidious's chest. Anakin was able to get free while Sidious was focusing his attack on Obi-Wan. Sidious falls down to the floor as Anakin goes over to Obi-Wan. Anakin knows that Obi-Wan must seek medical attention immediately as he is scarred from the lightning. Anakin carries Obi-Wan to the gunship as they take off. Plo Koon, watching from the skies, sees more gunships heading towards the surviving Jedi, as Plo Koon is able to intersect and destroy the gunships. Obi-Wan and the younglings are taken to a medical facility far away from any clones to receive the medical attention they need. Yoda works on the comlink to send all surviving Jedi to stay away from the Jedi Temple as the clones have turned against them. Obi-Wan soon wakes up and thanks Anakin for saving his life again. Obi-Wan tells Anakin, "I owe you one." Anakin would live up to the prophecy of the Chosen One after defeating the Sith and bringing balance to the Force. Anakin would then soon raise his children, Luke and Leia, and create a new Jedi Order. Welcome everyone, and in today's video we are going to go over a what if scenario of what if Darth Vader had access to the advanced technology and weaponry after losing his duel with Obi-Wan Kenobi. We begin this fanfiction as Darth Vader had just been defeated by Obi-Wan once again. With his mask sliced and his control panel broken, he races to his ship as his anger for Obi-Wan grows. Darth Vader heads immediately to his quarters and force chokes anyone that sees his face. Vader finally arrives at his quarters when he is taken out of his suit to be put into the Bacta tank. There he can meditate, but not in peace, but in anger that Obi-Wan got away once again. His anger grows every waking moment, knowing that his master has defeated him once again. Things all around his quarters begin to break as his abilities with the Force continue to grow beyond his expectation. The droids tell Vader that his suit has been repaired and will be ready once your wounds have been healed. Vader knows that it must have been the suit that slowed him down, and that is how his master got the upper hand. With all the different spikes in his helmet and the control panels going inside his body, that's the reason that the Emperor gave him this suit out of punishment for his defeat against Obi-Wan. It wasn't to keep him alive, however, it was a punishment for losing his first duel against Obi-Wan. Vader knows he needs material lighter and more durable than his previous suit in order to feel like his younger self. Vader remembers the Mandalorian armor called Beskar. It is strong enough to block bullets and even strong enough to not be penetrated by a lightsaber. He tells the commanding officer to set a course for Mandalore. As their ship jumps out of hyperspace, he commands the officer for a full assault on Mandalore, leaving none alive. The people of Mandalore immediately began to defend their homes. However, it was to no avail, as the Empire were too strong to be defeated, as the Great Purge of Mandalore had begun. After the Empire captured the city, they were instructed to find as much Beskar as possible for Vader's new suit. After searching all over the city, they finally find it. They take as much as they can back to the ship. The officer reports back to Vader, letting him know that the mission was a success. The droids in Vader's quarters begin melting down the Beskar. Vader is taken out of the Bacta tank as his wounds have fully healed. They begin with attaching each limb, and now for the armor. Vader can immediately feel how much lighter this armor is, with every piece feeling more and more like his younger self. This new suit has been completed. Vader could feel the difference. There were no restrictions with his movement. There were no spikes going inside his body. His hatred now is fueled by Kenobi. They have attached rockets to his suit as well to make him even more dangerous. The commanding officer tells Vader the Emperor is coming, as he wants to know why you have decided to invade Mandalore. Vader knew what he must do to his master, as it was him, just like Kenobi and the Jedi Order, that held him back from reaching his true potential. Vader commands the officer to bring in a couple of stormtroopers, as he wants to test the armor out before he faces his master. Shot after shot, Vader is able to defeat these stormtroopers with ease. The armor worked wonders, as even if Darth Vader wasn't able to block the shot, the armor protected him. The Emperor's ship arrives as hundreds of soldiers line up around his ship. As the Emperor walks out of his ship, he wants to know, where is Vader? The commanding officer thought it was strange that Vader wasn't there to greet his master. As the doors open, it is Vader walking out in his new Mandalorian suit. The Emperor could sense his betrayal. The Emperor says, "Your new suit is nothing compared to the dark side of the Force." Vader says, "You are the one that gave me the suit. You are the one that has been holding me back all these years." The Emperor raises his hands and says, "Then you must die." As the Force lightning comes out towards Vader, as Vader raises his lightsaber, blocking the lightning, his armor is protecting the control panels from the lightning as well, making his new suit invincible to the lightning. All the soldiers back away from their duel. The closer Vader gets to the Emperor, the stronger the Force lightning gets. However, the suit seemed to have no effect on the lightning. Vader lifts up with his other hand and begins force choking the Emperor. The Emperor is lifted up in the air, grabbing his throat. Vader asks his former master for any last words before I kill the life out of you. The Emperor's body falls down to the floor. As Vader looks around the room, all the soldiers begin to kneel in front of Darth Vader, as he has now become their new Emperor. As always, thank you guys so much for watching, and I wanted to take this story down a different path. After Vader loses to Kenobi for the second time, he figures out that it was actually his suit that was holding him back all these years and not able to reach his full abilities with the Force. He remembers Beskar being strong enough to block blaster fire and even a lightsaber strike. Once Vader was able to infiltrate Mandalore and get the Beskar he needed to create his new armor, he was invincible. His armor was much lighter and yet more durable. This new armor allowed Vader to reach as close as he can to the abilities of a younger Anakin Skywalker once more. The Emperor hears of this news and feels the betrayal by his apprentice for not consulting him before capturing the planet. The Emperor would head to deal with Vader. However, with the new suit, Vader's powers have now become more powerful than even the Emperor predicted. The Emperor wanted Vader to take his place during Revenge of the Sith. However, when he lost his duel with Obi-Wan, Palpatine only wanted to punish him for his loss and no longer wanted Vader to take his place. As the two of them dueled, leading to Vader killing his former master to become the only Sith Lord. Before heading to Naboo, Darth Maul went to Sidious' tower in Coruscant to figure out a strategy to defeat the Jedi and capture the Queen. Sidious tells Maul that after killing the Jedi and capturing the Queen, to find a young boy with the Jedi and bring him before me. Darth Maul asks, "Why the boy, my master?" Darth Sidious replies by saying that the boy will be a valuable asset to help defeat the Jedi. Maul tells his master, "It will be done, my lord." Darth Maul heads to the planet Naboo to prepare for the Jedi's attack. Maul knows that he will have to have the element of surprise to defeat the two Jedi. The Jedi arrive and tell young Anakin to stay in a ship. Darth Maul surprises the Jedi and they go back and forth. All three individuals are very skilled in the Force. However, Obi-Wan has had very low to little amounts of experience against the Sith. Darth Maul knows that if he could separate the two Jedi, it would give him a distinct advantage to defeating the Jedi. Qui-Gon gets separated by Obi-Wan and now is facing Darth Maul alone. Darth Maul is too powerful in the dark side and gets the advantage and stabs him in the chest. Obi-Wan, stuck behind the ray shields, is too late to save his master and now has to face Darth Maul alone. With the rage of seeing his master die, Obi-Wan uses an aggressive fighting style instead of his more defensive Form 3 and usually waits for his opponent to tire and make a mistake to win the battle. Darth Maul also goes on the offensive and Kenobi is completely unprepared. With Maul's aggressive fighting style, Kenobi is unmatched and he dies. After killing the two Jedi, Darth Maul heads back to the hangar bay, where he remembers a young Anakin hiding in a cockpit. Anakin tries to take off in the Naboo starfighter, but Darth Maul uses the Force to stop the ship from taking off. Darth Maul, using the Force, takes apart the ship piece by piece, and Anakin gets knocked out by the Force. He takes Anakin back to his ship and sees in the courtyard that Padme has been captured by the Trade Federation. The Jedi Council gets word that the Trade Federation has captured the planet and Padme has been either captured or killed by the Trade Federation. Yoda feels in the Force pain and death towards Qui-Gon and Obi-Wan. Yoda doesn't feel this for Anakin Skywalker and thinks that he is still alive. Yoda knows that if Qui-Gon was still here, that he would like for the Jedi Council to send out Jedi all over the galaxy to find young Anakin Skywalker and bring him back to the temple. Darth Maul leaves the planet Naboo. He informs his master that he has completed his mission and young Anakin Skywalker has been captured. Darth Sidious replies, "Excellent, my boy. The Jedi will be scattering all over the galaxy to find the boy they call the Chosen One. This is where we pick off the Jedi one by one as they try to rescue the boy. Waiting for the Jedi to make the first move. My goodness. Jedi Council uses the Force and other allies scattered across the galaxy trying to find any information to find young Anakin. One of the Jedi by the name Plo Koon feels a tremor in the Force, near the planet of Dathomir. Plo Koon immediately tells the Jedi Council of this disturbance in the Force. Master Yoda tells Plo Koon to wait until more Jedi arrive, not making the same mistake, only sending 2 Jedi to face the Sith, but he knows he needs to get more powerful Jedi Masters on this mission. Yoda is accompanied by Mace Windu, Kit Fisto, and Shaak Ti as they head over to the planet immediately. Once all the Jedi get together on the planet, they feel the same tremor in the Force as Plo Koon did. Mace Windu tells the rest of the Jedi to stick together as whoever the Sith is can be dangerous. As the Jedi get closer, Darth Maul informs his master that the Jedi are here. Darth Sidious tells Darth Maul, "I have trained you to be stronger than any Jedi can possibly imagine. Use your aggressive feelings towards the Jedi to defeat them." The Jedi soon reach Darth Maul's temple. Jedi don't realize it, but the temple is too massive for the Jedi to stick together, and this is costing them valuable time to find Anakin. Yoda, Mace Windu, and Plo Koon search the inside of the temple, where Kit Fisto and Shaak Ti search the outside of the temple to make sure the Sith doesn't escape. Inside the temple, Yoda and Plo Koon and Mace Windu, "I will search the lower levels. Report back to both of us immediately." Mace Windu goes into a room where he feels the dark side get stronger than ever before. On the wall, there's so many Sith artifacts and paintings showing the story of the Sith. As Mace Windu walks into a room, he sees young Anakin Skywalker and a red lightsaber hovering over his head. Mace Windu ignites his lightsaber and tells the Sith to release the boy. Darth Maul moves towards the Jedi, preparing to attack. Darth Maul aggressively attacks Mace Windu as they strike each other back and forth. The force between the both duelists is strong as Mace Windu uses his Form 7 or Vapad fighting style to counter the aggressive fighting style of Darth Maul. Mace Windu holds his ground against the Sith as Darth Maul uses the Force to lift stones and throw to the powerful Jedi. Darth Maul soon realizes how powerful this Jedi is, using both his own powers against him. Darth Maul sees a way to make a quick escape and uses Force to push dust into Mace Windu's eyes, causing Mace Windu to be blind for just a second and unaware of where the Sith has gone. Mace Windu goes back to the room where young Anakin Skywalker is. Mace Windu finds the boy and takes him back towards their ship, where the rest of the Jedi are waiting for them. All the other Jedi are glad to see young Anakin doing okay. Yoda finds it interesting that it was Mace Windu that found the boy whenever Mace Windu told Qui-Gon the boy was too old to be trained. Mace Windu makes it his mission to train the boy they call the Chosen One. and take him back to the Jedi Temple. Hello everybody, and welcome back to another What If Star Wars video. In this video, what I want to talk about today is what if Anakin used the World Between Worlds to go back to the Battle of Naboo to save Qui-Gon from Darth Maul about to kill him. I think we can make an entire series of what if Qui-Gon survived and how this would have changed the character arcs of Anakin, Obi-Wan, Count Dooku, and more Jedi in the prequel era. This video took a very long time to make, so it would help out so much by clicking that like button and subscribing so you never miss a video. We start with Anakin looking into a portal in the World Between Worlds, where he sees his former master fighting Darth Maul. He sees the shields open up and Qui-Gon is all alone fighting Darth Maul. Obi-Wan got stuck and was not able to reach Qui-Gon in enough time. Qui-Gon is holding his ground against the Dark Lord until Darth Maul hits Qui-Gon and Qui-Gon drops his lightsaber, and before Darth Maul could deliver the final blow, Anakin, looking into the portal, screams "No!" and grabs Qui-Gon as he gets pulled into the World Between Worlds. Qui-Gon, confused of what this place is, looks up to a grown-up version of Anakin and asks, "Where are we?" Anakin replies that this is the World Between Worlds, a perception of time and space to be able to access any point in the Star Wars universe. Qui-Gon and Anakin talk about the nature of the Force and how this place is possible. Qui-Gon walks with Anakin, viewing the different portals of all the different points in Anakin's training that led to the fall of him going to the dark side. Qui-Gon can look back at all these moments of anger and fear to see how Obi-Wan could have changed Anakin from falling to the dark side. His attachment to his mother, and because of the Jedi Order, he wasn't able to save her, and then he slaughtered the Tusken Raiders. If only Anakin was able to go see his mother more often, perhaps she would have survived. Qui-Gon goes to the next portal and sees the Jedi Council and Obi-Wan were holding Anakin back from reaching true potential. Not allowing Anakin to reach the rank of Jedi Master did not allow him to go into the restricted section of the Jedi Archives, and this could have possibly given him the knowledge of the Force to save Padme from dying. Qui-Gon tells Anakin that he will do everything he can to make sure these things do not happen to him again. You are the chosen one, Anakin, and you did bring balance to the Force. I will make sure to train you just as my master trained. Back on Naboo, Obi-Wan, thinking that his master is dead, goes into an aggressive fighting style, and Darth Maul is completely unmatched, and this leads to his downfall. Obi-Wan runs over to Qui-Gon's lightsaber as a portal opens up behind him. As Qui-Gon walks through the portal, Obi-Wan, so happy to see his master still alive. Qui-Gon goes up to Obi-Wan and tells him he is ready for the trials, and that I will be training Anakin to become a Jedi. He has a lot of potential with the Force, and without proper training, his passion and attachment to others could lead to his downfall. I don't always agree with the Jedi Council or with the Jedi Code, but one day, Obi-Wan, you will learn this too. I foresee that you will have a Padawan of your own one day, and that Padawan will become a great Jedi. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you really are enjoying these What If Star Wars videos. Please comment down below which What If Star Wars videos you want to see next, and I will see you guys in the next one.